Welcome to the exciting world of the ancient Okinawan sais. These sophisticated weapons will be taught to you in a very basic way so you can understand every important movement. When you have mastered the fundamentals on this tape, then you can graduate to the Advanced Sai Volume 2 video. This tape will star black belt weapons experts, Mr. Kim Murray and Curt Sawyer. Their exceptional techniques will truly amaze you. Now, before we begin, let's understand the sai and choosing the proper weapon. The sais should be carried in a professional case to protect them. They are steel weapons, usually with a chrome finish, and leather handles or roped handles. Now, when choosing the sai, they should be slightly beyond elbow's length, no longer, or they'll keep hooking onto your clothing as you flip them. You don't want that. The handle's a hand span away, as you can see. Now, there's two types of sais. The lower sai is the octagon-shaped sai, and the top the rounded sai. Of course, they're made of very strong steel. It's a very sophisticated ancient Okinawan weapon developed to fight against the samurai sword. Now, before you can even begin your sai training, you must condition yourself properly for this weapon. It is a heavy weapon, ranging in weights from 4 to 10 pounds. So you must have strong forearm and wrist strength. Black belt weapons expert Kim Murray will demonstrate some of the conditioning exercises that will prepare you for sai training. Fingertip push-ups are ideal for strengthening the hands. Make sure you're high up on the fingertips, back erect. Very good, smooth up and down motion. This will develop the triceps, shoulders, and of course the wrist and hands. Then go to the fist push-ups. You're actually putting all your weight on your knuckles. Again, a great exercise for strengthening the hands and forearms. You should build up to 50 push-ups each on the fist and the fingertips every day for a total of 100. Hand grips such as the spring grip is excellent for developing sai strength. Of course, you can purchase this at any sporting goods store. Again, 50 repetitions each hand is ideal on a daily basis, of course. Next, wrist rotations, which simulate a sai movement. Put a plate on one end of a bar and just simply rotate until you feel a tightness in the forearm. Then relax and repeat. Do at least 3 sets of 20. Use a weight you can handle. Correct form is more important than how much weight you use. End your conditioning routine with forearm pulls, or forearm curls as they're often referred to in gyms across the nation. Your hands come all the way down. Roll the bar down to your fingertips and stretch way back. You will feel some soreness when you begin working with the sai, but that will subside with your training. Now, a strong foundation is vital to sai technique, and that starts with your basic stances. Now, these stances, I'm sure, are very similar to your karate stances that you now practice. First is the horse stance, which is used very often in training. Keep your feet wide apart. Concentrate all your weight down on your thighs. Keep the knees bent. Feet turned out 45 degrees, back straight, head up. Notice the perfect posture that black belt weapons expert Curt Sawyer displays. Good form is important to make your sai technique look aesthetic. Next, we have the frontal wide seisan stance, we call it, or simply frontal stance. Distribute your weight evenly on each leg, 50-50. Feet pointing straight ahead, back straight, head up. And notice the side guards that he takes when he's in a stance. Next we have the cat stance. This is used in all karate systems. 90% of your weight is on the rear leg, 10% on the front. That enables you to kick with the front leg. The front leg is high on the ball of the foot. This stance is called Zenku Tsudachi, or leaning forward stance. Similar to Seisan, but your rear leg is outstretched more and is almost behind the front leg. Very powerful stance. Then we have the reverse of that stance, which is the leaning back stance called Kukutsudachi in the Japanese systems. Lean your weight on the rear leg, but again, you're facing your opponent. Even though you're leaning to the rear, it keeps you out of the way of head strikes. 60% of the weight is on the rear leg. Then we have the crane stance. It looks strange, but it's very effective. You put your rear knee into the front knee with the rear leg high on the ball of the foot and the front foot turned out 90 degrees. Excellent for kicking with the rear leg. Another crane stance is to raise your front leg away from a kick to your knee, or avoiding a foot sweep and blocking down with the sai. Always keeping a good guard with the sai. Now we get into the heart of the sai, the fundamental strikes, blocks, and flipping techniques. You should have your sai ready and be sure you train right along with the experts. Now the first technique we're going to teach you is the punch. Punching with the sai. The sai lays straight across the forearm and keep your top finger out straight to the tip of the sai. It's protected by the round top of the sai. Nice strong grip. Sai handles vertical, up and down. Look at it from another angle. You're hitting with the blunt end of the sai as you strike out. This is a devastating technique. It's a steel end that will easily crush an attacker's skull or go right through his chest into his heart. Now follow along. You place the sai on your hip and you place it flat on the hip, striking straight out. Do not twist when you punch. Straight out and into the target. Doing it full power now. Notice black belt Curt Sawyer's form. It's very good, very strong. He doesn't look at the floor. He's very alert. His punches are straight on into the solar plexus. Now this is the incorrect way to punch. No need to twist. It takes too long and it's not as effective. Punch straight off your hip, keeping the sai flat on your hip, and out as you strike. Give a strong karate shout to show your power. Now watch the devastation of the punch. The end of the sai smashes through the tile. Imagine what that would do to the attacker's jaw. Watch closely. Very destructive weapon. And that's just the punching end. We haven't even gotten to the stabs yet. Now alternating punches with the blunt end of the sai. Keep it flat on your hip. Good form. Good strong stance position. Concentrating on your solar plex strike. And you should be training along at home. Now let's see it applied to the targets. Striking to the nose or in between the eyes. Smashing the jaw. Another vital area is the throat, trachea, solar plexus or rib cage. And punching to the groin. Smashing to the back of the skull with the punch, breaking the spine of the attacker, and also punching down, using it as a block, the blunt end, breaking the top of the attacker's foot. That would be the last kick he would ever throw. Let's take a close-up look at that. Excellent defensive technique. Now let's drill our punches to all the target areas: head, midsection, groin, and as a block. So follow along now and perform these 4 punches with us. Do it slow. Punch to the head area or between the eyes, solar plexus. Punch to the groin and block a kick to your groin with the blunt end of the sai. Your very first technique. Now do it with all your power. Give a strong karate shout or ki at the end. See it in slow motion, the power generated. You saw it smash those tiles, so you know what it will do to someone's chest area. The sai is a most versatile and sophisticated weapon. We're just concentrating on the blunt end, then we'll get to the point stabbing and the handles for the hooking techniques. Work this drill now. Head area, solar plexus, groin, and a block, blocking your groin. With power now. Don't try and overdo it as a beginner. Punch with as much strength as you have, or you may be too sore in the beginning. Start out slowly and build up. Make sure your form is perfect. Now when punching, you're also stabbing to the rear. As you retract, if someone grabs you from behind, you drive the points into their stomach. So actually you're striking in 2 ways. An example, the attacker comes in without even turning around. You just drive your points straight back into his body, puncturing his lung, heart, stomach. You can see a very deadly weapon. Now double punches. Striking into the eyes, throat, solar plexus, or breaking both sides of the rib cage at the same time. 1 punch is devastating enough, but 2, you can imagine the effect it would have. And double punch to block a kick. Now follow along. Good form. Strike to the eyes, to the ribs, to the groin, or double down block. Generate power now. The sai is a heavy weapon, so you really have to push hard and exert a lot of energy for it to be effective. See how they're flat on the hip. Pay attention to form. Mid-strike, down. Now we have double punches high and low. We're hitting to the nose area, between the eyes, and solar plex at the same time. Also solar plex, groin at the same time. Back of the skull, spine at the same time. Always to a vital area. Follow along. Head, midsection, groin, midsection, groin. Loud ki. Ki means shout. It will give you extra power. It will also scare your opponent. Let's look at it from the side now. Face stomach, stomach groin, stomach groin. Now we have hooking punches. At the same time, striking around into the targets. Temples, rib cage. This is excellent if someone assaults you from the front. They grab you by the throat area. You come around, smash the skull on both sides or the temples. or go into the rib cage, breaking both sides of the ribs. That attacker will never grab you again. You can be assured of that. Now let's drill this. Midsection, break the ribs, go to the top, strike the temples. Ribs, temples. You should be following. This is a training tape. If you want to be good with the sai, work the sai every day with this tape. Okay, now we're going to graduate to the flip and stab off the punch. Now watch closely. Punch, this is your first flipping technique. The flip is a block and then stab into the stomach. Besides a block, it's also a strike. You're punching into the attacker's stomach, you're flipping, hitting him on the collarbone or wrist or arm or head, and then following again with a stab to the stomach. Now watch the flip closely. Punch, flip, control the sai, stop it when it's straight, and flip it right back. Flip, stab. Now the position of the thumb is very important. Keep the thumb in. Don't extend it down into the handles where a knife or stick could slide down and break your hand. Let's look at it from the other side. Punch, flip, stab. Remember that flip is a strike or a block, as you'll see shortly. Now, he's doing it slowly, but as you get more proficient, make that flip very quick, you see? And flip back quickly. Now, let's look at it in slow motion, the action. This is full power slow motion. Punch, break the ribs. Now, flip, maybe block a knife out of his hand or break his wrist. Go back to the hip, build momentum, and follow with a stab. This is your first combination. Okay, look at it from the front now and try and follow along. Punch solar plexus, flip, stab, punch inward. This is a close-up for the correct thumb position. The palm's facing down, the thumb is on the brace in the middle of the handles. Do not have it sticking out like that. That is incorrect. Because like we say, if you're blocking a sword, it can slide down the handle and stab you or break your finger. This is the worst position, over the handle. Keep it tucked back, firm, strong, pressing down hard with the thumb to help strengthen your grip. Now, to emphasize the point, when you stab out, this is the correct way. Your thumb is back, between the handles, protected. That razor-sharp sword cannot cut his hand in this position. Now, if he had his thumb in the incorrect position, hanging over the handle, which should never happen, your block is no good because it'll just slide down and cut your finger off. Or if it's a stick, it'll smash your thumb. Like we said, it's a block or it's a strike. Now you should be following along with this drill. Step right, punch, flip, stab. Punch, flip, stab. Look at it from the side now. Punch. Break the skull, stab the throat. You can see everywhere hitting the attacker, you're doing tremendous damage. Whether it's the blunt end, the shaft of the sai, or the tip, the sharp tip. Punch, flip lower, stab. The other flip was to the skull, now this is to the attacker's arm, to break his wrist. This is the over-the-top flip. That's the first flip we're teaching you. Look at it slowly now. Low flip, stab. Low flip, stab. Okay, now we're going to get into the stabbing techniques. The correct way. The punch, flip, stab introduced you to the technique. Now we're going to emphasize the proper way. You see the stabbing on the straw dummy? Very deadly weapon. The point going in. Straw dummies are excellent training aids. See, the handles are straight across, stabbing in. This type of training will develop your striking power. Look at the stab, straight in to the head area. Of course, you can't go out and stab anyone. That's ridiculous. So you must train with these type of aids to get a realistic feel for the sai. Now, when you stab, your handles are straight across. This is the incorrect way to stab, because this way the handles are not protecting you. When they're straight across, stabbing out, the handles can be used as a block. If they're turned vertical, you won't protect yourself. This is the correct way to stab. See how it catches the sword in the handles. The handles are very important. If you turn it the wrong way, it doesn't block, and the sword would cut your arm off. As you can see, it would just rake down the side of your arm. Proper way offers protection. Strike coming from the bottom up. If it's incorrect, again, a lot of damage to yourself. Correct way again. On the hips, handles pointing out with the stab. Now, from stabbing, we go to slashing with the sai. Slashing is raking the sai across your opponent, taking out his eyes, slashing, opening up his body with cuts. Slashing the rib or midsection area. Double slashes. Very deadly. Raking the eyes and throat at the same time. Notice the good form, the hand position. The thumb is back where it should be. Now, proper wrist action is very important when slashing to make it effective, as we will see shortly. Those slashes are very intimidating. Figure 8 slash. Cross the face, left side, right side. Midsection slash. Cross the stomach. This is used when you're in close to your opponent. Even if he has clothes on, you can slash through them if the Sawyer is sharp enough. Now, multiple, slashing the stomach, slashing the eyes and throat at the same time. Multiples. Follow along. Slashing, raking, cutting, tearing up your attacker. Don't go near someone with a set of size. Very intimidating. Like I said, let's look at the proper slashing technique. You turn your palm in to the target as you slash, and your thumb always goes against the target. This is so that the sai will not fall out of your hand. Always turn your thumb at the target. Remember this. Now, showing it on the bow staff. Always turn your thumb at the target. No matter what direction you slash from. Now we have a punch and side flip technique. This is a block or a strike. Punch solar plexus, flip, smash the skull, or block a stick to the head. Flip down, block a kick, or flip to the side, break the rib cage of the attacker. Side flipping now. Punch, flip, striking the attacker's head or blocking a head strike. Striking his ribs or blocking a side strike. Punch, block a kick, or smash his kneecap. Flip, snap it right back. Don't go beyond the target. Notice how he controls the weapon. It flips right back into position, ready to punch or strike again. Head. Now let's apply it to an attacker. Punch to the ribs, flip, break his skull. Did you see that flip? What it does to the tile. You can imagine how it would crush the temple. Punch solar plexus, flip, break the rib cage, flipping to the side, controlling it with the thumb in the proper position. Flipping down to the side, blocking a kick. That would easily break his legs or do tremendous damage to his shin. The side of the shaft is used. Now follow the instructor. Punch, flip to the head, step, punch, flip to the side, break the ribs, punch, flip down, block your groin against a kick. Put it all together now. Notice how quick he moves aside, smoothly. He doesn't drop them. He has full control. Flip and right back. He doesn't flip more than 1 foot beyond the side of his body. This is important. Otherwise, you lose total control. Head strike, rib flip, down block. The flip used to block a stick or bow. Also, the flip is used to break the hand. It's very versatile, the sai. It's either defensive or offensive weapon. Use your imagination. That's what this tape is for you to develop your own techniques as you master these. Now, this will teach you control. Have someone hold a piece of cardboard. You see, he can flip, come right back, do a lot of damage. He doesn't flip way beyond his body. Now, this is incorrect, overemphasizing the flip. He goes off balance. He can get kicked in the face. He can't control his weapon. Very bad position to be in. It might look strong, but it's awkward and it's incorrect. No control. The over-the-top flip is used on the focus board. You see how it hits the target, comes right back. That's enough damage right there is to just hit the target. You don't have to swing way beyond it. That would break a man's skull. Overemphasizing the flip, you lose control. He's off balance. Again, he's vulnerable. He can get kicked in the face, lose his weapon, lose eyesight of his attacker. You never want to do this. You always want to come back in a good guard. Now, this is how the handles of the sai are used as weapons. The handle can come around and the point can hook into the skin, puncture the attacker's arm. You follow up with a punch. Attacker grabs with 2 arms, again, using the handles. Very deadly weapons. Breaks open the grip, stabs into his back, into his neck area, follows with a knee to his face. Handles are used to hook your opponent. He hooks into the back of his neck or skull, pulls him in, follows up with the other side, stabbing through the trachea. These are not weapons to play with. They're very serious Okinawan weapons. The handles are used to come in, hook behind, tear the groin. The top handle is used to hook into the throat, jackknifing your opponent. Again, the handle is used to hook the stance, pulling your opponent off balance, following up, ripping the groin out with the other handle of the sai. In blocking, the handle is used to block. You can slide right down the weapon, breaking the knuckles of your opponent. Flipping around and hitting the top of the skull. The handle is used to pull the weapon down, follow with the punch to the throat. Okay. Close-up look at the handle, which can come across to the throat area, into the eye area. Excellent for infighting. No matter how you hit your opponent with the sai, it will do tremendous damage. If you miss the strike, your handle can follow as a backup, striking into the eye. or throat area. And remember, that's cold steel. Now, going into blocking techniques, we're going to emphasize the head block and how the sai relates to karate technique. Very similar. You saw karate block counter. Now, using the sai as a block counter. The sai is closed and it's used as a head block. And the blunt end is used as the counter punch. Keep an eye on the proper technique of that head block. Notice how the sai comes across the arm, protecting it like a roof. Now applied to a shinai. You see how the sai is above the arm. It's not laid on the arm. It's above, protecting the arm against the stick. Don't lay it on the arm. There should be a space of at least 3 inches between the arm and your forearm. Proper technique shown. And the counter. Quickly. You see how hard he's striking. His bone could easily be snapped if it wasn't for that sai. Quickly, realistically. This could be an attacker in the street. It's a 2x4. Now we have the X block. Cross 2 sides together. Again, putting a roof over your head of protection. Catching the strike in between the X and countering with 2 temple strikes. Watch. Coming around to the temples or to the ribs. As the sword comes down, X block protection. You must hold the sai very firmly so it doesn't drive through your block. Counter, come across, strike his temples. Also strike to his ribs or break his elbows, his arms. Now the open block with the shaft, knocking the weapon away. Just keeping the sai open and countering with slashes across the stomach. Knock the weapon away from the outside in and slash counter with the same sai, countering with the point. Practice those with a partner. Now concentrating on the flip again as blocking techniques. That comes into the head from the inside out using the shaft, knocking the weapon away, countering, break the ribs with the flip. This is excellent training for your reflex techniques. Break the rib cage. You notice you never just block, you always counter to make sure your attacker is out of commission. Now, blocking with the handles and coming right off the attack, striking to the head. The weapon comes down into the handles, right off, striking. You'll see it applied in a moment. Handles are excellent defensive weapons. Watch closely. Catches it in the handle, right off, without hesitation, breaking his skull. The attacker wouldn't know what hit him. They're shorthand swords, but they're very effective weapons, as you can see. Again, thousands of repetitions will make it perfect. Now the karate, side block, and punch. We'll show how this relates to the sai now. Same exact technique with the sides as your protection. Flipping them closed, stepping back. Again, the same exact side block, but adding 100 times more power to it with the sai. Keep an eye on the technique. The attack comes. He steps back, he blocks with the side block. Now, you'd never be able to block that with your arm, you'd have your arm broken, but the side lays across the forearm again, similar to the head block. Can take the shock of the weapon, counter with a temple strike. Turns the wrist slightly to jet the sai across the forearm. Breaks his rib cage. Remember, in your training, always add a sai counter. He's swinging full power, and if Sensei Murray doesn't block correctly, he's going to have his arm smashed, possibly broken. There's no trick to mastering the side, only hard work. That will make you an instructor or master of this weapon. Daily practice, hours a day. Counters to the temple. Let's look at that close up. See how it protects the whole side of the forearm. Now we have a sharp samurai sword. Now can you imagine blocking that without the sai? It would cut your arm off. But the sai takes the blow of the sword. Now we have the outside in side block. This is done a little differently. The sai is completely off your forearm. You strike around and in. The sai taking the full force of the blow. You flip, break his hand, counter with a stab. Now the attacker comes in, steps back in a horse stance, blocks it away, and the counter is to break the hands and stab the stomach. The flip breaks the hands. Very painful. At that point, the attacker will immediately drop the weapon. You may not even need the follow-up stab. Flip breaks the knuckles. Very painful. If your attacker has a broken hand, the fight's over. Now, using the handles of the sai for side blocking. We showed how you lay it across the arm and block. Now you can just hold the sai out, catch the weapon. The counter is a strike to the temple, followed by another. You have to be very skilled to perform this block because those handles aren't that big, and to catch the weapon, your reflexes have to be very sharp. Full power. You can see the force of that shinai, or bamboo stick. Now double blocks, blocking with the open shaft. Blocking inside, then outside, and counter with the stab. So you're blocking 2 head strikes at the same time. 1, 2, and counter, putting the sai right through his head. Sai, when you're skilled properly, is a very hard weapon to penetrate through. Let's take a look at that side block again. A slightly different application. As it's laid across the arm, very quickly come off with the handles, knock the weapon away, strike to the head. Now we have the down block, blocking against kicks to the groin area or knee area. The sai is straight up with the wrist slightly bent. Look at the protection it has to offer. Counter with a punch. Blocking down, hook it around, stop at the outside edge of your body. Counter. Look at his strong stance and good form. That's what you want to go for. Try and master that. You don't have to use his stance exactly. Use your own system stance. It doesn't matter. As long as it's strong and the balance is good. From a different angle now. Notice how the sai is straight up and down. Look at that great protection it offers. This is incorrect. Laying it too much on the forearm. It's not as effective, especially against a sword. This is the incorrect down block. The sai is behind the forearm. He could have his arm cut off with the sword. It offers no protection. This is the correct way, concentrating the sai up and down. Excellent protection. Keep the wrist slightly bent. That's what will bring it in the proper position on the down block. By the way, Mr. Murray and Mr. Sawyer are third-degree black belts in the Ishiru Okinawan karate system. They've trained personally for many years under Master Angi Uezu of Okinawa, a kobudo master. Now let's apply that down block in a realistic situation. 2 blocks, counter, kick, stabs to the spine. And again, full power. That sai was wrong. He'd have a lot of damage to his arm. Flipping down block with the open shaft from a crane stance. Drawing back, protecting your leg from a stab to the leg, foot sweep strike. You must concentrate all your weight on the back leg. The stick comes in hard now. Counters with a jump pressing kick and a stab. Let's see it again. He blocks, protects his leg by swinging it away, jump, counters to the head, stabbing to the back spine area. X blocking. Now using the X block to swing the weapon away, countering with stabs to the rib cage. Watch it again. This time he blocks a strike to the groin with the X block, swings the weapon away to the side and stabs. That swinging motion is very important to open your opponent up. The attack comes in again. Side defense, X block. Whips the weapon to the side. Look at how his opponent is so vulnerable now. Right through the heart. Using the handles as blocking weapons. These will lock the weapon. His opponent cannot pull it away when the sai are brought together. The sai has full control of the weapon now, throwing it again to the side, similar to the last technique, using the handles to hook the neck, drawing the opponent down, smashing the knee into his face. Now using a double block into a crane stance position. The first side blocks, the second side will strike to the temple. Keeping the weapon open, watch closely. Block, strike. See how it continues. It's a very quick, effective move against a head strike. Excellent one to practice. Now we have the sides closed with a double block. We're blocking the head and groin at the same time. Head block and blocking the down strike. This is an excellent training drill for your reflexes, perfecting your blocking techniques. He's swinging that very hard. He's making him block and concentrate. Countering with double punches. Now, if you're struck from behind, never turn in to meet your opponent. You're turning right into the force of the weapon. You'll have your skull smashed. Now, the correct way with the sai, and even without the sai, is to turn away from the force, opening your weapons and blocking. Turn away to meet your opponent. Never turn inward. Keep this in mind. Now, the following drills are excellent for bringing all the sai techniques that we have taught you into play. They're combinations that you should work daily, and they will prepare you for the advanced techniques on Volume 2 of the sai training. You should be following along down the floor. Punch, flip, stab, down block. Punch, flip, stab, down block. So we have 4 techniques now we're putting together. Techniques we've taught you step by step so far. Do them slow and then full power like Master Sawyer is doing. Loud shout on your last strikes. Notice the smoothness of the technique. He doesn't even blink. He keeps his eyes on his imaginary opponent. Do it with this spirit shown. If you're a karate warrior, act like a karate warrior. Kick to the groin, open strike tempo, down block punch. Kick groin, strike tempo, down block punch. This is your next series of combinations. Nothing you haven't learned so far. Add the speed as you progress. Control that weapon. Are you following? The slow motion is easy to follow now. Put power behind that technique. Work the side daily. Yes, you will get sore in the beginning, but after a couple months, it'll feel like putting on a glove. Next technique, X block, strike the temples, double stabs, flip 2 down blocks. Full power.
Police! Police!
Give a strong shout on the double stabs. Now the next technique is a crane stance routine. Stepping back, avoiding the foot sweep, head block, down block. Notice that closed head block. Then the frontal stance, head block slash. Head block, down block, slash. Let's do it again, full power. Now go to your frontal stance, block slash. Stepping back. 3 slashes, and the block. Now we utilize the horse stance. Punch, flip to the side, crane stance, over the top, and repeat. In the crane stance, you're striking on top of the attacker's head. Excellent routine, utilizing 2 stances. Horse stance, punch, flip, crane stance. Again, flip, break his hand, break the skull. Visualize your target areas in training when doing these drills. Now double punches to the ribs, flip to the head, flip to the head. Double punches to the ribs, Temple strike, temple flip strike. Very simple, very effective. Do it slowly, get the feel of it. Follow along. Then add your speed and spirit. Look at the control and the flash and the snap. That's what you want to emulate. After 1 month, you should be able to flip that fast and control like that. That's if you train every day with the tape. Head strike over the top, going down, punching to the groin. Head strike or block off the weapon on top of the skull, going down, avoiding a strike to the head, punching into the attacker's groin. Excellent reflex routine. These routines were designed specifically for you. So work them every day. Again, you want to be good with the sai, work at the sai. Now, partner drills, a reflex technique. There's no margin of error here. Look at it slowly. 2 head blocks. You should be working this with a partner, X block, counter with a kick. Utilizing your karate techniques. Work this drill with the partner after you've mastered the single drills. Now, a little more advanced technique, which you should not try at this point, avoiding the sword, countering to the body, blocking with the handle, countering to the skull and to the temple. Quickly. Remember, these are experts. Don't try the sword at this point. Not until you've mastered volume 2. Now we get to the basic sai kata or form. This is excellent for training. It utilizes all your sai technique or for competition. You'll be assured of first place wins with this kata. Watch closely. An imaginary fight. This is prearranged. Now, let's see it again in slow motion. Remember, a kata is an imaginary fight. When you have the sai, you imagine you're fighting opponents with a samurai sword or bow staff or shinai. He starts with a block, punches into the solar plexus, flips, breaks the hand, stabs into the stomach. He's in a Zenkutsu deep stance. Flips the side back. Goes forward, side block. Look at the power. Punches solar plexus. Looking to his right. Zenkutsu stance, flips, breaks the hand, stabs into the stomach of the attacker. Steps back in a horse stance, outside in block, blocking against a stick strike to the stomach, or bow strike. Repeats the movement. Now comes forward. X blocks a strike to his head with a stick. Counters to the temples. Closes the weapon, keeps full control. Side kicks an attacker. Repeats the side kick to the other side. Imaginary attacker running in, kicking him into the throat. Always have your karate techniques ready. What if you drop your weapons? Then you must be able to kick and punch with your hands. Head blocks. Punches into the solar plexus. Steps back. Head blocks. Again, punches solar plexus. Looks behind. Drops under a sword strike to his head. Kicks the rib cage of his attacker, or groin area. Gets up to meet the attacker in front. X blocking the head strike. Smashing the temples. Follows, stabs into the solar plexus or rib area. Closes the weapon. Punches the solar plexus. Follows flipping, snapping the temple, slashing across the stomach of his opponent, closing the weapon with full control, down blocking. Stepping forward, punches solar plexus, flip head block, slashing midsection, closing the weapon, and down blocks. Double punches to the midsection. Steps back and down on one knee. Head blocks. A head strike. Stabs up into the stomach area of the attacker. Comes up with the formal ending of the kata. Opening the weapons, crossing them. Flipping them closed. Cross down. Very well done. Play this over many times and perfect each movement. It will bring all your side techniques into play. Okay, let's look at it once more, step by step. You cannot learn this form in 2 minutes. Like I said, you have to watch it over and over. Block, punch. You should be following along at this point. Snap, stab. Block, punch. Looks at the attacker coming in. Flips, blocks, stab. Steps back, blocks across. In a horse stance, blocking outside in again. Remember the X head block. Counter to the temples. Side kicks. Side kicks. Head block, punch. Head block, punch. Drops down, kicks up into the groin or rib cage, coming up into an X block, and double strikes. Double stabs, punch midsection, head block, slashing, across the body, down block. Repeat the movement, flip head block, slashing the body, down block. 2 punches, stepping back on one knee, head block, stab into the throat. Now, these are just some of the advanced techniques you will be learning on Sai Volume 2. Many advanced wrist techniques, wrist twirling techniques. And we truly hope you have enjoyed this video and it has given you insight into the ancient Okinawan Sai. Remember, these are weapons that should be perfected as an art form. The Sai is not used to go out and hurt anybody with. You are learning an ancient historic art and the beauty of it. Again, you can't learn all these techniques on tape 1 in one day. You have to be patient, play the tape every day, pick up what you can. If you don't know it, play it over again. But don't give up. Before you know it, you'll say, hey, all of a sudden, it's there. I've learned the Sai. Good luck.